Alright guys, here we go. Next steps on the Lego table here is I am building the little side dishes where all the Lego pieces will go when he's not using it, or the extra pieces here. I messed around with a few things. I think I know the direction I'm going to go here, but this is kind of a winging it solution to kind of see how big they go. So at that point I'm going to go ahead and cut these pieces, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting everything together here. But let's just start by making the side buckets here. So I messed around. My initial thinking of about a 4-inch wide valley on each side. I didn't really like the way that looked. I cut some sample pieces. They're a little smaller than I would expect. It's just not going to be the space I'm looking at, so I'm going to go ahead and bump them up to 5 inches wide and see how that looks. So. So at this point here, I have all the supports for the top that I want right here. I also have the boxes and the top over there. What I'm gonna do now is pretty much take a little break here, see what I wanna do next. I think I'm gonna start by putting the boxes together and see how that goes from there. So what we're going to try here is a little tool that I just picked this up from Harbor Freight because I didn't want to spend much, but it is just like a little squaring clamp for putting things together, holding them square and tight. I'm going to give that a shot here, see if it works on this application. If not, not a big deal, didn't cost very much. So. place we were at here, we were attaching the legs here. That's the last thing that you guys saw. So I've done a few other things. I've messed with some of the bracing that I had for this to kind of figure out what works best for what I have right now. I do have a piece of 1/2-inch plywood down here and a 2x4 along the back down low. Same thing on this side back here. On the other side, just another piece of plywood. And then along the front here, currently I have a 2x2 up here and a 1x3 right underneath it. I did that somewhat intentionally because I was thinking of doing a piece of 1/2-inch plywood right here, but I also want to do some sort of brace perhaps in here. I just haven't quite figured out exactly what I want to do there, so I'm going to play around with that and I'll let you guys join us when we figure out what we want to do. So we are now at the point that I had a bit of a change in kind of what I wanted to do with this. Instead of having the table rest on top, the ledge, what I actually want to do here is I actually want to cut down into the grooves, or make a groove in all these supports here, and cut them down about a 1/2 inch so that when I put the plywood forward on top, it can simply rest in there and it's nice and flush with the top of the table. So that's the idea here, and we'll see if we can find something to do it with. go. That is roughly the end result of the Lego table here. There's a lot of odds and ends and miscellaneous stuff that I was doing there. We changed up the framing a little bit from the beginning plan, and we had to make adjustments because of the top here. When I was putting it together, I forgot to lay out the plan or attach it to the boxes in a way that there would be the 1/2 inch gap there for the plywood to sit down. So we did have to remove a little bit of material here so that the piece fits in there nicely. And now it's pretty much just left for you to go ahead and finish it off how you want. My wife wants to go ahead and stain this so that when my son's done using it as a Lego table, it can go ahead and be his work desk. That's also why we ended up leaving this bottom side fairly open here and then just having the support up top, just so that he can slide a chair under it and use it as a desk if he wants to when he's not using it as a Lego table. So there you guys go.